Welcome to Clovis Botanical Garden in Clovis, California, where we're all about water-wise and drought-tolerant plants suitable for the San Joaquin Valley. I'm Roger, a volunteer here at the garden, and we're here today to bring you a few minutes with Art Dyson, a renowned architect of our times, highly skilled in engineering and elements of design. Art is the perfect architect to create the garden's new visitor center. Influenced by his architectural apprenticeships with Frank Lloyd Wright, Bruce Goff, and William Gray Purcell, Art so uniquely incorporates the concepts of organic architecture into his structures, seamlessly transitioning the outside and inside environments. We're very fortunate to work with Art in the creation of this visitor center, as it will be a significant and timeless addition to the Central Valley and a gem for our community. Now here's Art Dyson.
I was asked how I was approached on this project and how the project came about. I gave a lecture, I don't know if it was at the Art Museum or where it was now, but Ann and Pat and Andrea from the garden, the board on the garden, approached me afterwards and asked if I'd be interested in designing a new visitor center for them. I said, of course, I'd love to. And so that's how the whole project came about. Somebody had asked me a little bit about what organic architecture is. Organic architecture is a term that was coined by Frank Lloyd Wright, and it's a philosophy, an architectural philosophy that incorporates human beings with nature rather than separating them. So when you build a building, in effect, you're separating us from nature, but nature has soothed human beings over the years for millennia. To the point where I recall a metaphorical poem that Robert Frost wrote. It was called The Mending Wall. And in that, he said, if I were to build a wall, I'd first ask myself two questions. What am I walling in and what am I walling out? And that's what we do in architecture. There are certain things that we want to bring in. We want to keep the harsh elements of nature, rain and wind, sun and those things away, but we want to bring in the natural elements, the birds, the songs of nature, the flowers, the wind in the trees, those things that soothe us as human beings. So we've tried to incorporate those in the building that we do now. So in essence, it is a work of organic architecture. The design process was simple. It really is listening and learning about the mission of the board, how we can advance that mission, looking at the site, seeing how it's affected by the climate, how it's affected by the different seasons. We have traffic noises here on the site. We have noises sometimes from the park, how those are going to impact the building. And again, what we're looking onto, what we wanted to bring into the building, what we wanted to keep out. Obviously, we wanted to keep the noises out, but we wanted to bring in the surrounding flora that we have there. I think one of the things that Frank Lloyd Wright always tried to do was make a building of its time and of its place. So it's original, it's something that never existed before, it's timely, but also timeless. That's sometimes a double-edged sword. So it's easy to copy a style that's popular right now, but in 10 years it'll be out of style. So if you approach it organically and design something that was never here before, you don't have that comparison that dates itself. So that's probably what we do. The building itself is interesting in that we're very aware of the climate and the weather that we're in here. And if you look around at some of the buildings that are being built, you see the ones that are using wood on the exterior, they'll last maybe 8-10 years at the very most. The valley is very, the hard, dry summers are very harsh on wood. Where on the coast, it works very well. So the palette of materials we're using is metal, steel, glass, and concrete. Very simple materials that will last a long time and look just as good 40, 50 years from now as they do now. That was the concept. The building itself probably informed is representative of a lot of the plants in the garden. The sustainable, drought-resistant plants are kind of spiky in form as a building is itself and kind of has a presence of its own. So that pretty much sums up the whole philosophy of what we're trying to do and what we were trying to create here with this building.
Support the creation of the Visitor Center through your donations and membership to the Clovis Botanical Garden